Motorola's released 3 new Droid RAZRs, and we've got one of them. I'm Michael Fisher, this is Pocketnow, and this is the Motorola Droid RAZR M. Full review. Let's get to it. We took a brief tour of the RAZR M's hardware in last week's unboxing video, and as I mentioned there, you could be forgiven for overlooking this device in the shadow of its 2 larger, beefier siblings. Motorola is marketing this device as having an edge-to-edge display, and while it's not quite what we had in mind when we think of that term, the bezel is quite thin. They needed to make this device notable in some way, and it wasn't going to be the display itself, which is the same panel as on the original Droid RAZR, a 4.3-inch Super AMOLED Advanced at QHD resolution with a pentile RGBG subpixel arrangement. The screen has taken a lot of heat for those specs, but it's not without its pluses. We found the excellent color saturation and the deep blacks to be really wonderful and overcoming those deficiencies for the most part. The casing itself is pretty unremarkable from a design standpoint. The phone is 8.3 millimeters thick and vaguely wedge-shaped, without the distinctive camera bulge that has defined the RAZR line until now. Motorola has brought its popular Kevlar micro-weave backing to this device, and it, combined with the Gorilla Glass 2 screen protection, the aluminum frame, and the water-repellent nanocoating, give the 126-gram RAZR M a solid feel in the hand. There is a notification LED up here, but annoyingly it's not used for anything but low battery blinking. For guts, we're looking at a fairly typical spec loadout. A dual-core 1.5 GHz processor is backed up by 1 gig of RAM and 8 gigs of storage, expandable via microSD. For radios, Verizon's CDMA and 4G LTE bands are here, as well as global roaming with HSPA. The primary camera is 8 megapixels and shoots video in 1080p, and all that is powered by a non-removable 2000 mAh battery. All that hardware is put to solid use on the software side. The RAZR M we tested isn't running final software, and it's not running anything fancy like Jelly Bean, but it's still a fairly smooth experience. Specifically, we're talking about Android 4.0.4 with Motorola's custom UI skin, which seems to be growing more and more subtle with each new device. Motorola's custom unlock screen here is back with its quick jump shortcuts, and other flares have returned as well, like the circles widget we know and love from our time with the Atrix HD and Photon Q. Motorola has also rethought the home screen layout, positioning the primary home screen all the way to the left of the ribbon. It's let Motorola build a custom quick settings pane full of useful toggles, as well as a jump link to the full settings menu, which is quite handy. Importantly, the Motorola keyboard has undergone some serious revisions. While it's still listed in the software as Motorola Input, the keyboard is as close to stock Android as we've seen, with its autocorrect and responsiveness much better than on other Motorola devices. Otherwise, it's typical ice cream sandwich, with folder support, widgets, multitasking, everything we're used to seeing from Android. We tested the RAZR M in the greater Boston area and found its performance to be better than average for a mid-range smartphone. As we mentioned before, UI responsiveness was quite good, with the device only stuttering and lagging occasionally, and benchmark scores were close to the last Motorola device we reviewed, the Photon Q. That leads to smooth internet browsing and gameplay most of the time, and video playback is also good. Considering this isn't even final software, that bodes well for the phone's future, if it gets updated regularly. Camera performance was average, which is actually a step up from most other Motorola smartphones we've reviewed. There's still the issue of the viewfinder software being finicky when it comes to white balance and focal point with mixed bright and dark backgrounds, but at least Motorola has finally included an HDR mode for photos, which helps a lot. Macro shooting is acceptable, the camera app launches quickly, and shutter responsiveness is quite good. The bug that we noticed on the Atrix HD and Photon Q, which causes music to momentarily blast from the speakerphone when you're taking a picture while listening to music, is still here, but one step at a time, we suppose. In line with other Motorola hardware, phone calls on the RAZR M were crystal clear, and callers said we sounded fine. Reception over both 3G and LTE was excellent. Speakerphone performance in calls wasn't as loud as during media playback, but it was plenty loud for most circumstances. Speaking of media playback, there are some handy equalizer functions here that help music sound better through headphones, which we appreciated. There's also automatic volume limiting if the phone thinks you're listening to music too loud, which we didn't appreciate at all. Please, 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 let us do what we want. One of Motorola's big focuses with its new smartphone line has been in endurance, and battery life on the RAZR M was quite good. We were able to get more than a day's use on a single charge, right in line with Motorola's claim of 20 hours of mixed usage, and that's without using the power-saving Smart Actions rules. The RAZR M isn't going to turn many heads, sitting as it does in the shadow of its more notable siblings, but it serves an important function. It's a mid-range device that doesn't sacrifice a lot in the way of features or performance in order to get its price down. It sits well in the hand, it feels exceedingly well made, and it runs Android like a champ. The software modifications make Android better, not worse, and it lasts a long time on a charge. The RAZR M is proof positive that it is possible to make a mid-tier smartphone feel in many respects like a premium device. It does the rebooted RAZR brand proud, in our opinion. We give the Motorola Droid RAZR M an 8 out of 10. That's going to do it for our full review of the Motorola Droid RAZR M. If you like the review, please throw us a thumbs up here on YouTube. If you want to leave a comment, please do so at the post, the full review at pocketnow.com, where you can read more in-depth impressions from my time with the RAZR M. Thank you for watching in the interim. Please follow us on Twitter at PocketNowTweets. You can follow us on Facebook and Google Plus as well. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at Captain2Phones. That's Captain, the number 2 phones. We've got, as always, a lot more content coming up at Pocketnow in the days and weeks ahead. So, once again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.